Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's very, very special webinar. You cannot miss Transfinder's annual client summit. And you know, I realize I don't have any of my slides. It's March 30th through April 2nd in Nashville, Tennessee. So again, March 30th through April 2nd, 3 full days of fun, right, Julie? And
yes,
instruction. Julie is our fun coordinator. Remember from Love Boat, Julie, I think that was the fun coordinator. Okay, if you can go to the next slide. Oh, I forgot my name. There we go. I'm Rick DeRico. I'm the Director of Public Relations. I will be your host today. Well, this is rapid fire. We've never done this before. 30 minutes. We have multiple speakers. They just were very, I said, anybody want to talk about ACS? We got amazingly fast response from clients who have either attended in the past or who are going for the first time this year. They're going to tell you what their expectations are. This is something that's interactive. So again, very fast paced. I'm going to go real quick, but you have a question about ACS, you have a question for a specific person, just jot it in the question section there. I'm monitoring it. Julie's probably monitoring it, maybe. I don't know if you are or not. If you're not, I monitor it. If you have something for somebody specific, I'll make sure I address that. And if you are not a client, because yes, it's the annual client summit, this is still for you, because there is some low-hanging fruit here. Like if you want to become a Transfinder client, get that Transfinder experience, and you're not ready yet to rip up your routing solution or routing product. We have the routing solution. They have the routing products.
Exactly.
If you are not ready to go that way, well, you know what? Servicefinder is an easy way to get in early, and you will be a client, and then you can come. So anyway, just want to let you know that. So if you're saying, "Oh, I'm not a client, I guess I don't need to come to this." Now we have an amazing list of panelists. I'm not sure our CEO is going to make it because, like many of you who get called off on things, urgent things, our CEO is very much like that as well. We have Julie Doolen, who's going to give a mini presentation. She's our training manager and has been at every ACS. She's that special touch, that secret sauce. Marilyn Causey with Downing. Did I say your name right, Marilyn? Okay. With School District of Pennsylvania, I want to say Downingtown Abbey, but
Downingtown.
Stefanie in Perrysburg, Ohio. Sandy in Jeffco Public Schools in Colorado. We got James, also, who has a unique background, he's in the finance side of things, so he's got an IT side of things. So I'm going to have him talk a little bit. Norman Public Schools in Oklahoma. Michael Larson. Michael, are you here? I'm not sure if Michael's with us. If he joins us, he's in Wyoming. And then Sherman in Garland ISD. So thank you all for coming. Without further ado, I'm turning it over to Julie. Julie, what can we expect here?
All right, well, thank you. I have also often been called Julie the cruise director. So Rick, that's exactly what. So I will be your ACS cruise director. And we are very excited for this ACS. As Rick said, I've been to every one. We started these back in 2010. I had been with Transfinder for about 4 months when the first ACS started, and I taught 3 classes, and I thought, all right, well, this is kind of cool. And we only missed the COVID years of ACS, and excited to go to Nashville. It's the first time we're not in New York or Texas. You know, Nashville, you can drive from a lot of places. Indiana, I hope to see a lot of our Indiana clients there. Kentucky, things it's easier to get to. So this year we have our most number of presenters. If you've been to ACS before, you probably recognize a lot of these faces that are on the screen. It's kind of like our big Brady Bunch here, but we are 24. I think last year we had 17, so a huge increase in the number of presenters. And we can go to the next slide. I don't think I can do that. Thank you.
We actually have 50 team members going too, by the way.
Oh, wow, 50. All right, that's, they better watch out. Transfinder's taking over Nashville. We have 5 people who weren't there last year, 3 new application specialists. If you've been in training on anything on the last year, you may have worked with Steve, Andrew, or Carter. They will all be there presenting classes. And then back by popular demand are Katie Roche and Danielle Roberts. both were, Danielle was at ACS last year, but did not teach. And we needed her to teach because she has so much knowledge in her 40 years of transportation experience. She's an awesome member and great to have her presenting. And Caitlin Roche, a lot of you might know her as Katie. She was not able to go last year because she had just had a beautiful baby boy, and we are excited now that she can join us and be a part of the group. So not only do we have a lot of new presenters, we have 13 new classes. You technically could take a new class in every single time slot. So you don't, if you were there last year and you're like, oh, it's just going to be the same stuff, there are enough classes that you don't have to repeat anything. You'll see there's reports track. We have 4 classes that dive into Plus reports. If you're using Plus, you know that there's this great report editor. Sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming, but these classes are going to get you right in and really help you learn to do that for you. Those of you who came from Pro, we know Bob was the report master and always did the reports. He can only do so many reports, but now we actually can do them on our own. We have some classes that are not specifically about Transfinder software, but that are about things that you all are dealing with every day, student ridership and how important that is, and communicating to administration, finding efficiencies, things that are more theory-based than just directly in the software. But for sure, there are classes in the software, making your maps work for you. If anyone has checked out thematics in a map, it's actually pretty cool. You can add different layers. There's so much you can do with it. So we're going to dive into that. Talking about Wayfinder trips, routing for students with special needs, a new Servicefinder class on forms. You can do those driver reporting of defects on the buses. And then we're going to dive into some administration stuff and how you can use UDFs. That's hard to say. Including in the new classes, or including the classes, excuse me, of 18 lab classes, 18 chances to sit there and click and follow along and do exactly what the presenter is doing. And that's, I don't know about you, I learn by doing. Muscle memory is so important to me. So getting in there, clicking along, having the people next to you, you can lean over and say, hey, Sandy, what did he say? I wasn't listening. And you can get that information because Sandy's always listening. I know that for sure. So a lot of different opportunities for learning. I think I have 2 more slides and I want to give everybody else a chance to talk, so I'll talk fast. Back again by popular demand is RouteFinder Plus certification. So we are offering the test that you can end up being RouteFinder Plus certified. With that, you'll get a badge to put on your email signature, and you also can put it on your resume. I've had people apply to work at Transfinder who put on their resume that they are RouteFinder Plus certified, knowing that that's something that's important to us.
You know what, Julie? I also see it in email signatures sometimes.
Yeah, yep. We have the badge you can put in there, and then also add it to your signature. Now, right now, if you take it, if you talk to your AE and take it through our community site, there's a $250 charge to take that. So you want to talk about ways to get a bang for your buck at ACS. That is not an additional charge at ACS. It's just one of the classes. And yes, we'll have a review session before the test to help you hone up on those skills. And then what I think is the very most important thing is the networking fun that we have at ACS. These are some pictures from last year at the final night. We had a party at the Alamo. They closed the Alamo down and Transfinder took over the Alamo. I don't think that happened before in history, but it won't let it happen again. But
and everyone will remember the Alamo.
Yes, we all will remember. And don't ask them where the basement is, because there actually is not a basement in the Alamo. But just, networking is such a wonderful part of ACS. You're meeting people from all over the country, either when you're sitting with them and having a cold one at dinner or a glass of iced tea, or you're sitting next to them in class and you're saying, oh, look at this is what I do for my special needs students. You should try this. So that opportunity to talk to the people who are doing the same thing you're doing and feeling the pains that you're feeling, it's the best chance to talk to all of them. So hope I was fast enough, Rick. We got 19 minutes left for everybody else. So I'll stop talking.
Awesome stuff. In case you're wondering, by the way, what this baseball team lineup is, I'm the coach of my church softball team, and I play too. But I'm like, I usually have this little icon here with the panelists, but it would have been impossible to get all the names on there. So I'm like, it looks more like a baseball lineup than, so that's in case you're wondering, like, what in the world is that? Okay, you know those people in class when you were growing up who did the homework and then reminded the teacher that they did the homework, and like, Mrs. Rogers, you forgot to collect the homework. I think Sandy was that student. Sandy goes, I wrote up something when you sent out, your thoughts on ACS, and I hope I love it. And so I'm going to kick it off with Sandy to share your thoughts about ACS. You've been to, tell us a little bit about how many you've gone to and your experience. Take it away, Sandy.
You're not wrong on your description. I am that person. I'm Sandy Gallegos. I'm from Jefferson County Public Schools in Colorado. We have approximately 80,000 students, 145 schools with 18,000 students that ride daily. We've used Transfinder for about 20 years, and we just recently moved to Plus. I've attended at least 7 annual summit conferences since 2013. I always return confident, inspired, and prepared to integrate anything I learned into our daily operations. If you feel like your district is unique, I promise you'll meet clients that have similar size and types of transportation. This was a game changer for me. Collaborating with similar sized district brought new ideas back to our district and back to their district as well. ACS offers classes that cover all aspects of transportation that allows you to be introduced to a subject as well as take a deep dive. Super excited this year for the reports track. I signed up for every one of those. I'm super excited for that one. But it allows you to take a deep dive into a subject as well. Meeting the Transfinder staff, that is the best part about the whole thing. Their experience and knowledge is what makes us better. They are just the most amazing people ever. Have you ever been in a class and you fell behind, you couldn't keep up with the clicks in your hands-on class? What I really like about the Transfinder conference is they have the teachers in the front, but they have lots of staff in the back. When you fall behind, you put your hand up, they come up, they help you, they get you caught up. So in the end, they help everybody stay on task so you get your best experience out of the subject that you're in. That piece is like amazing. You always go to those classes where somebody like takes over. I always call it hijacks the class. They really monitor that and don't let that happen. So you really get what you're in that class for.
Well, that's
I believe the best part of ACS is becoming a system matter expert. I can bring information back to my district and my coworkers and immediately bring value and efficiency to our district. I encourage every district to send somebody to the conference.
Very good, Sandy. And we did not write a word of that, just to be clear. You're getting some applause here from Stefanie. Very good. That's what happens, but some more. And this is what happens, actually. This is like a microcosm of what happens there. Very good. I'm going to just go across my screen here. So who I see next is Marilyn. Marilyn, your thoughts on ACS. This is will be your first year, am I correct?
This will be my first year, yes. So I work for Downingtown Area School District. It's in southeastern Pennsylvania. We are the largest district in Chester County. We transport over 15,000 students. And I've actually been in Transfinder for over 10 years in 2 different districts. And we've been in Plus for 2 years, but this will be my first conference. And I am attending for the first time because some of my peers around me in local school districts attended for the first time last year. and they came back with glowing remarks about their experience, about the training. As Sandy said, the networking, you connect so much with individuals who are going through the same stripes that you are, and you troubleshoot it. So it's really a great opportunity for me to do that for my district, because I serve as the primary person for Transfinder within Downingtown, and our relationship with technology and everything. So it's just going to help me grow in my new role, because I'm moving into the supervisor role in March. So it's yeah, thank you. Very excited to attend and learn and collaborate, and maybe use some of the tools a little differently, a little outside of the box from the norm, because that's what I tend to do to make things more efficient. So I'm very excited about those opportunities.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
James, now tell them your title as well, as what you talk a little bit about your district and what you've been before, correct?
Yes, this will be my second year to attend ACS. One thing that I am the financial manager and the office secretary and all the above. I wear IT. I wear multiple hats, like all of us in the transportation departments do. I wear multiple hats. So one of the biggest things I can say about ACS is the overall value coming from a financial standpoint. If we fly somebody out to here to Norman and they stay for about a day and a half with airfare and price of admission and everything, it costs about $8,000 to have that one person come out, and they're usually a specialist in whatever you get. The last couple of times they've been a route finder specialist, but when I go to ACS for a lot less money, we're talking about around $1,000 a person. I can send 3 people, and each one of us can take classes specifically on what we need. Like my biggest thing is I really wanted to learn Stopfinder. We've had Stopfinder for about 4 years now, and I actually wrote the numbers down. In the first 3 years we had Stopfinder, we were at 9.32% utilage. In just 1 year's time, because of ACS, we are at 58.86% utilage with Stopfinder. And it's the simplest things. I got a tidbit when I was there at ACS from the Transfinder CEO about QR codes. We actually started ID badges this year, and we put the Stopfinder logo and a QR code on the back of every student's bus ID. So every parent will have the website where they need to go and talk about Stopfinder and how it works. And that alone right there, the value that we've gotten out of that just by me going to ACS and those, the networking that I got from there, and pick up that one little tidbit has really, amazing how much it's actually helped our Stopfinder utilage, because Stopfinder is so great because you got the options of taking attendance, with bus IDs, or even just manually doing it with the tablets. That in the past, if a student was like missing, we would call the local police. We'd have principals out there. We'd have us as transportation calling neighborhoods. Now we can actually pinpoint exactly what time, what location that student got off the bus. If they got off the bus, did they get off at the wrong stop? So overall, just by being able to save one child, within 20, 30 minutes compared to maybe 5 or 6 hours, finding a student, we know exactly where to look. And we got all of that through putting all those pieces of the puzzle together just because we went to ACS last year. So the value, you can never put a value on saving a child, but the value that you get just monetarily from being able to get all these different classes and resources, add all those together, ACS, you can't miss the ACS just for those little tidbits you can. Even if you just get one thing, which we got probably about 20 things out of it. So
that's great. And actually, while we're on this topic, I just want to make it so this is going to be a half-hour video that'll be live on our YouTube channel. If you do want to go and you're having a difficult time maybe convincing your superintendent or business manager or school board, you can just forward them this. And we did keep this short intentionally so that they don't have to wade through an hour plus, so that's part one. And the other thing is just the fact that, Julie, if you add up all the, the master classes as well, it is quite a bit of savings.
Yeah, it definitely is. Not to take away from someone coming on site to work, because that too, I'm sure, James, you found that was just incredible to have that, because you're right, in ACS we're working in, these are planned presentations, but we, I think Ree maybe was there with you last year, James Randall.
Yep.
Ree, I think, Ree can slide his chair up to you in your office and tell you where to click on the screen. So, both opportunities are great, but certainly to get a lot of information that packed in that short amount of time, ACS is definitely great value there.
Yes. Very good. Thank you. Sherman.
Yes.
Tell me your thoughts.
Well, first of all,
is this your first year? I'm sorry, go ahead. First of all.
No, first of all, I want to thank James for the idea. I'm here with a couple of my team members also. And James said something in regards to having the QR code in the back of the ID cards. Brilliant. So we're going to be talking to people to figure out if that's something we can possibly do here. But real quick, my name is Sherman Morton. I'm from Garland, Texas, Garland ISD. We've actually, and it's kind of, I won't say intimidating, but we're newbies. I mean, we've only worked with Transfinder for maybe 1.5 years now. And so I hear some of you guys say 5 and 10 years. We're like, wow. And so we're excited about going because we want to learn. We want to find out all the tips and tricks. We want to find out things that we don't are. I think we're good at what we do. Personally, I think we're good at what we do, but we can be better. And so we're excited about going and learning and going to different classes and just trying to strengthen what we have here. So we're excited. I mean, I don't know if every day we talk about ACS. Every day we're back online, looking at the classes, making sure we're getting the right classes. Okay, you take this class, you take this class. And so we're all not in the same class, but I think we all want to do the certification class though, because that's a $250 value that we definitely want to take advantage of. So I think we're all going to be in that class, and it's like 6 of us going from here. So we're excited. Yeah, we're truly excited about coming.
You guys were a past top transportation team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes.
So you guys, that concept that you said about always be learning, that's probably what helped contribute to you guys winning that award.
I think we have roughly 50,000 students. We transport maybe 15,000, and we're rocking and rolling with it. I mean, this is, and I'll speak on a personal note, because as a route specialist, sometimes I have to drive, and I'm not from Garland originally, and so in using the Transfinder, using Wayfinder, I couldn't be a sub driver on these routes without it, because I wouldn't know how to get around. I wouldn't know what street is what. So this is a lifesaver. I don't know why every district don't have this. I don't understand why. They need to be introduced to this. They need to get it, because it's definitely a blessing.
You're talking about Wayfinder.
Wayfinder. You get the whole, just everything with Transfinder, the Wayfinder, Stop Finder, Form Finder.
Sure. I should have put the Wayfinder. If you see that list of all the speakers here, I have you. What's under yours? You are Route Finder Plus, but I should have put the Wayfinder one next to your name. That's the W there with Sandy. But yeah, Wayfinder is huge. I mean, the idea, when you think about it, literally, you're going to have your sub drivers or new folks with route sheets on their lap. That's a good idea. I don't think that's a great idea.
Oh, there you go. Tablet right there.
Yeah.
And there are specific to Wayfinder classes. We're gonna up there, Sandy's. I love it. Well, you're gonna hear a lot about Wayfinder, but there are 3 specific ones, just a 101. So Sherman, if there was someone new who hadn't dealt with Wayfinder at the district before, that's a great chance for them to get that extra Wayfinder knowledge. And those of you who have been using Plus forever and switching to Wayfinder, you're going to want to clean up your trip some, and there's classes on how to do that as well. So definitely lots of opportunities for Wayfinder.
Yes, I just want to point out that just in this little group that we have right here today, talking about coming to ACS and how important it is. We got together, none of us have ever met. James comes up and says, we put QR codes back on, and 2 big districts immediately said, oh my God, we're going to go that. That's what the conference is all about. That is the whole networking piece. I never thought of that. I never heard it. I heard the billboards. I'm like, that's not realistic for us, but QR codes, that's what ACS is all about.
I love it.
To that point, I actually changed my registration to take the certification as well.
Yeah, I love it. I'm telling you, this is not rehearsed, folks. Like, this is just awesome. I just
the certification is a must. That's a class we're definitely going to be in. It's 6 of us going.
It's a no-brainer.
Sherman, I also like your point about, and then I want to, Stefanie, You've been very patient. So we're going to get to you in 1 second. Sherman, I like the idea too about divide and conquer. And that's a great idea. So if you have 2 or 3 or 4 other people going, maximize it. I think somebody mentioned yesterday the idea of like you come back to the office after ACS and you share with your team. And so you can give a real thorough, explanation of what you saw. Is that correct?
Most definitely, yes.
So very good. Stefanie, first year or have you been before?
So this is my first year. So my name's Stefanie Fliter, and I am the routing secretary at Perrysburg Schools. We are a suburb of Toledo, Ohio. So we're about a mid-range school. We have about 6,000 students. We do about 200 routes a day. We serve non-public and public schools. So what I'm most excited about was that I didn't get to go last year and my director did. And I was very salty over all the things she came back with and learned, because I was like, I wish I would have learned that. Did you ask this? Did you ask that? So I felt like I missed out because I didn't get to hear 3-4 days of information. I only got like an hour or 2 of information. So even if you do have someone that's coming back and giving you that information, it's always good to bring as many people as possible, because then you can put those heads together and you can learn from that. So it's just wonderful. And I've always said to myself and to others, I don't know everything of my job until I know all the cogs in the wheel. And if I have all the cogs over here, but I don't have these cogs, how am I supposed to know the whole process? So I want to learn all the extra cogs from ACS that I wouldn't know otherwise. I've been doing this for 3 years since we've had RouteFinder. We've had RouteFinder for 3 years. So I was the one that was in the ground learning alongside everybody else. I taught everybody how to use Wayfinder. I taught 50 drivers how to use Wayfinder, and they are in love with it. Even the ones that have been there for, maybe 30, 40 years are coming back. Why do I have dotted lines here? Asking questions like that. And I also do all of the map editing. So if I'm looking at map editing, there's things I might not understand why that doesn't work with Wayfinder. So I want to learn about how map editing affects Wayfinder and how Wayfinder affects StopFinder. So we didn't talk about StopFinder. We also have StopFinder, and I'm a parent in the district as well. So I get to see and hear a lot of questions from those parents, like, hey, how do I get communication on this? And I said, well, that's a good idea. So I want to know how the system works so I can troubleshoot and make our process better.
That is awesome.
And I like that point she made, because it's one thing to know how to do the workings, how to do the mapping, but it's another thing to understand how it all works. And that's what definitely I'm interested in also, to understand how, like he said, how Wayfinder works with StopFinder, how StopFinder works with the mapping. And so that's key. So I like that. Thank you, Stefanie.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I didn't mention this earlier. John, by the way, our VP of marketing, mentioned that they will have lapel pins for anybody who is plus certified. You'll be able to walk around with a little bragging rights there. So the other thing is, if you get Servicefinder, I should have mentioned this, you could attend ACS for free right off the bat. So just know that. So if you don't have Servicefinder, get it now between now and March 30th, and you get to go for free. What are we at? 12:29. I asked each, so quickly, anybody has questions, I'm going to ask you to email mystory@transfinder.com. That's mystory@transfinder.com, and we will follow up with you. Next slide, please. I just want to thank everybody, and I've asked all the panelists, and now Julie, I'm going to start with you though. I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to start Julie, Stefanie. I'm not going to make you wait to the end. I'm going to go the other way. It's Julie, and then Stefanie, Sherman, James, Marilyn, and Sandy. Do not take Sandy's word. I think she already asked for it. One word, or if you got to do a couple, takeaway regarding ACS that's coming up. I'm going to start with Julie. One word.
Country line dancing on Broadway in Nashville. That was one long word.
I didn't mention food, by the way. So there's lots of food too. Stefanie, go ahead.
I'm going to say, learn how all the cogs in the wheel work.
Perfect. Sherman.
I'm going to try to stick to one word, not one long word. Food.
Well, you got it. I love it. James.
I can't say this enough, and just don't take it for granted. If I can't say it enough, value.
Value. Great word from a finance guy too. Marilyn. Mute.
Definitely collaboration for sure.
Oh, you're the one that had you. Okay, very good. And Sandy, last but not least.
You will come home inspired.
Very inspired. I like it. So we did pretty good. Have a great rest of your day. Email mystory@transfinder.com if you have any questions. Go to transfinder.com to register or learn more. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you.